Today's guest is a true Broadway icon and the ultimate showbiz gypsy. Her legendary performances are too many to name, but here are a few. West Side Story, Chicago, Kiss of the Spider Woman. On October 7th, Broadway will honor her 80th birthday.
You said it.
80, incredible, with a special celebration benefiting Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. Please welcome Miss Chita Rivera.
That was a mouthful.
It was a mouthful.
Congratulations.
And there were a lot of takes of that. Thank you for still being here.
And thank you for saying birthday. Oh, no.
How is that possible that you have hit that number?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. You're the only one, and you snuck it in there. That's the only reason why I allowed you to say it, because I haven't let anybody say it. I always go, my birthday. But
have you ever been one of those, are you one of those people that freaks out about ages and numbers? You don't seem like it.
I don't freak out. I mean, I make a joke at it. And maybe deep down inside, I'm going, no! But I'm so glad to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm glad you're here.
I'm so glad to kicking and dancing and singing and having a good time.
You actually have an extended birthday. Your birthday was in January.
Yeah.
And now we're going to celebrate in October. We're just going to keep celebrating.
So that means I'm older.
So how has 80 been so far?
Oh my God,
you settled
it's
right
nothing.
Into it.
I mean, it is nothing. I put no. I'm alive and I'm feeling fabulous, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to do what I do, and and had all these great people that I've worked with.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good, and I'm so looking forward to the 7th. I'm getting nervous about it because I have a lot of energy anyhow, and so I feel like I'm standing at the gate going, okay, open the gate, here we go. So then I'll have some delicious friends that are going to join me that night.
So this is, I know that you're working with Terrence McNally and Graciela Danielle, who worked with you on your amazing The Dancer's Life show. Brilliant show.
Thank you.
So what do we have in store this time? I mean, are there fresh material?
Well, I kind of want it to be a bit of a surprise.
Okay, good.
Because I'll be doing a lot of my stuff that from the shows, like Spider Woman, all the things that you hated to get out.
I only listed 3.
Well, it's so long.
Yeah,
and
a lot.
I apologize, but and I'm adding people. Adding some really swell people, and they're friends, all friends of mine.
Well, everybody wants to be on stage with Chita Rivera.
Well, and I want to be on stage with them. They're so great. So I'm really, really looking forward to it.
You've been honored in a lot of ways. Well, of course, you have your Tony Awards, but you had a Kennedy Center honor, right? A Presidential Medal of Freedom.
How about that?
Grand Marshal of the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
How about that?
How was that? Was that fun?
Oh.
Tell me about that.
Oh, it was fabulous. I had my 2 nieces there, my brother's kids, Alexis and Ariel, and they, it was a parade, and their little eyes were so wide open, and the fabulous music, and just a celebration that day. I was very honored.
Yeah.
The Medal of Freedom was really a trip.
Yeah.
I mean, at that, I kept thinking any second somebody's going to say, Miss Rivera, would you come over here, please? We made a mistake. But when I'm alone at night and I think about the luck and the blessings I've had in my life and my career, it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. I mean, and this is a great business, our business, the theater.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry we have to do more for AIDS, because let's hope and pray to God it just goes away.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did the very first one years ago with Fritz Holt.
The very first
Barry Brown,
event.
And so to be able to celebrate this birthday with Broadway Cares is an extraordinary. I feel very lucky to be asked.
So I know when your actual birthday happened, you were in Mystery of Edwin Drood.
Right, with an amazing cast.
So amazing cast.
Yeah.
How did you spend your actual birthday? I mean, you were on Broadway stage.
It was that night. It was January 23rd, and with some great friends, we went over to West Bank Cafe, which I love. I'm really comfortable in the West Bank Cafe on 42nd Street.
You used to have a restaurant near there,
I
right?
did, exactly, in the same block.
Right, that's what I thought. Right.
It was called Cheetah's.
Cheetah's.
Yeah.
What was the best dish at Cheetah's?
Oh, they were all fabulous. I guess I should say the rice and beans. No,
Rice and beans.
or the hamburgers or something, But it was great. It was great.
So you went to the West Bank and had a nice...
and just I like being with my friends. That's how I celebrate. I guess there were like about 20 of them. I can't remember, but the food was good and the alcohol was flowing, and we had a glorious time.
What kind of people get to be Chita Rivera's friends? What kind of people are you drawn to? Tell me about some of the people.
People with a sense of humor.
Yeah, you like
people
to laugh.
who are, I need to laugh.
Yeah.
People that are honest, people that love their life and live their life.
Yeah.
I get so much from my friends.
Do you have any friends from like way back?
Yeah,
like
Dee Dee.
Some of your longest running friends?
Oh my, yeah. I've got my best girlfriend is Dee 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 Wood. She and her ex-husband choreographed Mary Poppins, Sound of Music, and all of those great shows.
Wow.
And so she's like she was there when I was in the ballet school, New York City Ballet. She was the American School of Ballet. So I've got friends that I've had for many, many, many years,
Yeah.
and mostly all the dancers that I've ever worked with. Yeah. My door is always open.
Yeah, the young Broadway dancers always talk about how much they love you, and when they get the opportunity to work with you, they really cherish every moment with you, and I know you create a great bond with them.
Yeah, you bet.
What's like the and we have a series on Broadway.com called Gotta Dance, where we do a photo series of Broadway chorus dancers, and they all talk about you as an inspiration. So, I'm wondering, what is like the number one question they want to know from you?
I guess longevity.
Yeah. So what's the answer? How do you build a career?
You just have to like what you do. You have to like what you do. You have to mean it. You have to share it with. You got to share the stage. You can't do anything by yourself. Freddie and John wrote this song, "I Can't Do It Alone" for Chicago. It's true. You cannot do it alone. You have to really like what you do. You have to listen. Because you're not the director, and you're not. I mean, some people think they know everything. They don't. It's very physical, and you have to keep a sense of humor about your life, about what you do, and you have to care for each other. It's actually a formula that's great for life. And dancers are fabulous people because they're connected to space and to the ground and the spirit. And their translations through their dance are without words. So they have to get across their feelings without words. It's a glorious profession, but it's hard,
It's hard.
And you get hurt, but you fight back. And so you're a little different the next day, but hey, so is everybody else. So you have to like what you like.
When you're in a cast with all these young people, do you get involved at all in the backstage gossip and the fun and are you sort of like...
Heck yes.
There's
no,
always
my
all
door,
that.
no, you ask anybody, Cheetah's door is open.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's music, sometimes depending on the show.
What kind of music? I want to picture the scene.
Luther Vandross,
Oh, nice.
Latin music,
Okay.
just all kinds of, Ray Charles. I mean, I all kinds. It depends on how I'm feeling. I know you want to get a picture, but I've got a lot of faith.
The amazing thing about your career, obviously you started in the chorus of Broadway.
Right. That's the best part. I mean, not the best, but it's part of the formula. That's really important. Starting in the chorus and getting that experience with being with your fellow dancers and knowing that. I mean, that makes a dancer know what's going on behind her. When you don't have eyes back there. But being in the chorus is a very valuable time.
So you would obviously tell young performers to not, if you
don't look down
don't just go for the star roles, but
heck no.
Yeah, get
because
in there.
You don't even know what you're doing yet.
Right.
You
Right.
need information. You need, So don't look down at the chorus. It's a great place to start and be.
So you had obviously West Side Story was this amazing moment to sort of break out.
Yeah.
Huge breakout, obviously, iconic. Tell me about the emotions of young Chita Rivera at that moment.
I clearly remember there was a bar, the corner of 50th and 6th Avenue, which is gone now, and I was sitting in there with Carol Lawrence, and she had gotten her part. I had just gotten mine.
Wow.
And Larry Kurt came around the corner and said, I got it, and I'll just never forget how exciting that was. We had no idea.
Right.
It was all about the work, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, is this going to be a movie? Is this going?
Yeah.
You don't know any of that stuff. You just know you want to be great and get the audition and get the part, and then next step leads to the next step. But that was I'd always look at that spot,
Yeah.
and that flashes in front of me. And then Larry made the joke of, oh yeah, all I need now, since I got the role, is to walk out in the street and a cab hits me and I die. So
Thankfully, did not happen.
Thankfully, did not happen.
So 50th and 6th.
50th
that was
and
one of your
6th. I don't know what's there now. I think it's a food place. It's right at the corner of the backstage of the Winter Garden.
Oh, 50th and 7th.
7th, I'm
50th
sorry.
and 7th, right?
That's
okay.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, 50th and 7th. Okay.
So I put you there.
Yeah, well,
you got a picture.
I'm gonna think of you every time I walk
I
around that corner
love that.
now.
I love your having to get the picture.
I want to
so
know what you were
do it.
drinking. what would young Chita?
Probably at that time a daiquiri. Probably a daiquiri.
I love how you say daiquiri. It sounds great with your voice. Daiquiris. No, but I love to think about young Chita Rivera, and I just like your life, like New York at that time.
Yeah,
and,
very New York, very
Broadway at that time. It was just
very very dancer, very excited about being in New York and about my life. It's been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hard, but you don't know the difference if you don't have it both ways. You know, you got to have hot and cold and hard and soft.
Yeah.
You got to have all those things.
So you do. You say you're doing numbers, like sort of famous Chita moments in your benefit.
Gee, I never thought
We're
of it
very
that
excited
way.
about. We love to see. Are there any of your moments that you don't like to do anymore? You know what I mean? Are there certain things you're like, I don't know.
No, you know something. When I haven't, and because my musicians, I have 3 fabulous, Michael Kreuter, Jim Donica, and Michael Patrick Walker. These guys I've been working with for years now, and so we do a lot of the same numbers because you have to do those, and you think, oh, God, I'm going to do it again, and then the minute the vamp starts or the minute the arrangement starts, the minute you get into it, you know it's great material because you're in it again. You feel so good about it. It stimulates you. You know, that's Fred M. John Cantor, Cy Coleman. That's Leonard Bernstein. That's the great people writing great music.
Yeah.
That lasts forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good. That's a wonderful question, by the way.
So many of the shows that you started have come back. You know what I
There
mean?
you
Like
go.
right now, Pippin.
There you go.
Pippin is playing West Side Story. I mean, you could just sort of like rattle off, obviously, Chicago.
Yeah.
Is it hard to watch? Do you feel any sort of like ownership over any of these? What's it like to watch other people, you know?
Yeah, well, I like to be entertained, okay?
Okay.
So we can start with that. There may be other people in the layers of Cheetah that are going,
Right.
they're probably there.
I mean, it has to be a little
Heck
bit.
yes, but I don't want a minute of my life to go by that's really rotten. You know, I don't want it to be rotten. So if I can assist it in being a good moment, I'm going to do that. So I'm watching somebody do a role of mine, and I can say sometimes, oh, that should have they changed that. You know,
Right.
It should have been yada yada yada. But they did that really. That was nice.
Right.
You know, so the parts are usually fabulous parts.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen too many people that I would go, oh, boo, hiss, boo. Couple, I'm not saying, but
We won't mention. Is there
see
anyone
that little person on that third level went,
maybe at midnight with a daiquiri on 50th and 7th, we would hear that list. But Is there anyone that's wowed you? Like, is there anyone that sort of stands out where you went, oh my God, that was an amazing.
I really enjoyed Chicago. I thought it was great, and
A
I
lot of people
really
in Chicago. I mean, have you seen it multiple times over the years? Or?
no. I mean, I did see the Hollywood Bowl one just
Oh.
recently because I was out there.
Oh, okay.
And I was really happy for Rita in West Side, but that was all so different.
Rita was here. Rita was here a couple
Ah.
months ago talking about her book, and there's just so much. There's so much warmth when you talk about each other.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I was talking to her about this like weird how the Broadway fans create this weird rivalry. You know what I mean? It's hilarious.
They tried
like
to
they
do it with
assume
Gwen.
you hate each other.
They
and-
tried to do it with Gwen and myself. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just so absurd.
People are just
but I
bored.
got to tell you, the funny part about seeing the movie of West Side, the only thing that upset me was that she was wearing my dress, my purple dress. That was the.
You were like, "That's my
I went,
dress."
no, wait a minute. That dress is mine.
Took my role and my dress.
And you can take the role, but give me my dress. And my one earring.
Wait,
Anyway.
that reminds me of another question. Are there any favorite? What's your favorite costume you've ever worn on Broadway?
Spider-Woman.
Oh my God! First
Spider-Woman.
of all, I love Spider-Woman.
I
Adored
mean,
that.
that is just right.
Aurora.
But that show was right.
You had a lot of great costumes in Spider-Woman.
Right.
Anything from that show that just
Florence
stands out?
Klotz.
Oh yes,
Design the
great
costume.
designer.
Oh my gosh, I just loved them all. I mean, I love that red one.
Right.
I really was. It was the right time for me to play her. You know, it was
Yeah.
really and also I thought that every single department in that show just was so brilliant, and that's why the story was able to be told as well as it was. And Brent Carver is in town now.
I
and
know, I saw
Brent,
that,
oh
Romeo and
my
Juliet.
God, I just
He was so
loved.
great.
Oh, he was.
That
so
show should come back, Spider-Woman.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
you
really
can still do it.
Heck yes, I'll climb up those things. I'm crazy enough to climb. But the dresses, the red one I loved. I loved the Spider-Woman dress, a very simple, fabulous, long, gorgeous dress
Yeah.
that looked like a web. I loved it when I raised my arms and I had the web,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the
yeah.
wings
Yeah,
itself.
amazing.
They were amazing because you had to kind of like scoot sideways to get through the wings to get out there.
Wow.
I mean, it was just, and then my white suit, my hot white
It was all
Dietrich
good.
suit with the white hat, you know, it was just fabulous. So I'm a lucky gal, you know, just lucky.
There are a lot of great photos of you in all these shows and video of a lot of. But I was thinking about there's so much you did before there was so much video. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So many of your performances aren't properly preserved.
Yeah.
Is there, if you could sort of pick one and have like a beautiful recording, what would you pick? What would you really love to watch yourself in? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I hate watching myself. Period.
Oh, do you really?
But I
never
do.
gonna watch this.
Years and years later, I go, ooh, I was cute. I didn't know I was that cute. You
Is there any
know?
show though that you wish was like preserved and you know what I mean? Like or one.
Well, oh gosh. I don't know. Do we have Chicago?
Like little bits of it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean Chicago. That set with Tony Walton's set was just outrageously brilliant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
from the stage was a deck of cards. You know, and
Yeah.
those huge panels and those elevators that came out. It was just gorgeous. I have to start thinking about it. I've been around so long that I forget what I've done. You know,
It's a long
what I mean?
list.
Yeah, it's a long list. Seventh Heaven. I loved Seventh Heaven.
Wow.
You know.
I don't know much about Seventh
Yeah,
Heaven.
you see, that was, I think, before they started to record
Yeah.
things. And that was Ricardo Montalban and
Right.
Robert Clary and Gloria DeHaven, for goodness sakes. For haven's sake. And, you know,
Are any of your roles, like you just said you could do Spider-Woman again, are any of those roles like in your bones? Do you think you could like sort of jump into like the choreography? Is it in your bone? You know what I mean? Like does it come back easily?
yeah, it
and-
does come back.
Yeah.
It does. One interesting thing I found was when Jerome Robbins was doing the revival of West Side Story, he asked me to come in, you know, and see if I remembered any of America.
Wow.
And I came in, Debbie Allen was doing
Yeah.
Anita, and I said, oh, I'm not so sure. So I went in, and some came out, but then I said, you know, let me come back tomorrow, or whatever it was. And I said, and I went and I got a skirt. I got a skirt. And it was in the skirt. You know what I mean?
Wow.
The minute you start, because your clothes are vital.
Wow,
You know, you
yeah.
remember when you turn this way and you let the flick of that tailcoat, and you remember seeing it. You won't remember it if you don't have it on,
Right.
and 10 years later or
Right.
something. But if you put that thing on and you go one, bap, and you let the coat do it, it comes back. It just, and then it leads you into the next thing, which is what happened with the skirt. Because the minute I picked the skirt up, I realized a lot of the steps were in that flashing of the skirt. You know, and it's good. Rehearsals are good.
Here's what I really want to know. Sometimes in the middle of the day, I'll just sit there and I go, I wonder what Chita Rivera is doing right now. What? Tell me about
not.
when you're not in a show. What do you do? Tell me about your day in your life. What do you do?
Well, I've got 2 dogs. One's a bull mastiff. It's actually my daughter's dog. And I have Stimpy, and my little Casper, my Maltese, died a couple of years, about a year and a half ago. I'm still brokenhearted about that. But my day, I never sit down. I do like to turn on Let's Make a Deal sometimes, because I love to see people get crazy and get happy and win stuff. I love that.
You like game shows?
I do. I like Family Feud. I do like game Password. I do like game shows. I mean, we used to play games all the time. That was your entertainment.
Right.
You know, at home, you'd have a supper party, a dinner party, and then you play games.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And then I feed my feral cats that I've sort of adopted outside. I make sure, and they sit there, and they want me to feed them, and I do as I'm told. And I love to cook, and I have a family, Julio and Lola and Armando.
So dogs and cooking and
Dogs,
Let's Make a Deal.
cooking, yeah, having my
Sounds like a
friends
good life.
over. Oh, it's good.
A lot of family, friends.
Always.
And then every once in a while, Broadway throws a huge celebration for Chita Rivera. Do you want to get back on? I mean, you just finished Edwin Drood this past season. Do you want to get on, do another show? Do you want to?
Yeah, I do. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I mean, I was just out in the Grove in Fire Island.
Oh, right, yeah, you did. Yeah,
A blast. It was fabulous. We had a wonderful time.
Do you have any gay fans? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Thank God. Thank you,
God
all
for the
gay
gays.
fans. Please. We're all gay. Please. What are we talking about? Why is there any separation? There is no separation.
Exactly.
And there's a wonderful show that I hope that we'll be able to get on.
I think I know what it is.
You do.
The Visit?
Yeah.
The Visit, yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping that we can get that.
Wonderful.
Give it
I know it's
another
been
step.
in your heart for
It's
many
in my
years
heart.
now.
It's in my heart, and it was one of the last 2 that Fred and John wrote together before Freddie passed. And so, I just think it's the American musical is just nobody makes musicals as great as we do, and this has a great story with a great cast, unbelievable music. And lyrics, and I think
we gotta get it done.
I think the audiences need to see another great American musical.
Yeah.
And I hope this is it.
I agree. I hope so.
We'll
So
see.
October 7th.
October 7th.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be screaming and cheering you on. Very excited.
Thank you. I'm very lucky to be to do it. You know, in the city, in the
August Wilson Theater.
August Wilson Theater, which was the amphitheater, which is where I did Seventh Heaven.
Oh.
And it all connects. If you stay alive long enough, it'll all connect these little dots. A lot of wonderful ghosts around there. Maybe I've left a couple of steps in that theater.
You know what else is close to the Anta? Daiquiris on 7th and
Daiquiris?
50th.
I'm there.
Well, we are thrilled. I'm thrilled that you are appearing on all these Broadway stages and continue to. And it's a gift to all of us.
Well, it's a gift to still be able to get into these wonderful theaters and say great words and sing great music. You know, we're very lucky.
Yeah.
And the audiences are great in New York. They're better in New York than any place else in the whole world.
Right.
You know, so come. And
Absolutely. Everyone, I'll see you at the August Wilson Theater on October 7th with this lady, this icon over here. Thank you so much for being here, Chita.
Thank
So great
you.
to see you. You
Thanks
look
so
fabulous.
much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.